How's it going, everybody? Give it a few seconds to get everything caught up. We've got some stuff to talk about for sure. How's it going, everybody? Throw this in the Discord and we'll be off. Wait for a couple people to come on in and we will get the party started. And so in the meantime, we will just play a little bit of Power World, I guess, and wait for a couple people to get in here. We've got a few things to talk about, so I hope everybody had a Merry Christmas and everybody got to spend time with their families and had a good time with all that. Yeah, we've got one other person in here. Who's that? Say hello. Who's hanging out with us? Like, yeah, I know I'm not going to be streaming to a whole lot of people, but I do want to, you know, at least have a few people here listening before I really get going on what happened over, I think it was yesterday, I do believe, but let's see. Change this over to the display because we have things to chat about for sure. How's it going? How's it going? Feel free to sub, like, and feel free to comment. Let me know you're here, who I'm hanging out with, you know, the fun stuff. Alright, so the last time I went live, we went and talked about right foot. I'm doing well, buddy. I'm doing well. So a few things happened since the last time I went live. This was mainly, I do believe it was yesterday. Yeah, this was yesterday. When we had some shenanigans go down. Of course, people trying to misrepresent what actually has been said and, you know, what actually went down. So, of course, we're going to get back into it. But, yeah, hope you had a Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, right, Foot? Hope you're doing well. So, the last time I went live, I spoke about being misrepresented by Street Reheat, aka Omar. That's what I'm going to be calling him because it's just easier for me. And yesterday, he went live and said a few interesting things. So I'm going to go ahead and play the clips because I went and did my homework, unlike Omar does. So first thing,
that guy Apollo, like the Apollo, I really like. Sorry, Apollo. Like I pray that some Mexicans come put hands and feet on you, you know. And I pray I get that video, you know what I mean? And I pray it happens soon, because at this point, that Apollo fucker decides that like I don't have that many means of income, right? He wants to like contact whatnot and try to get my whatnot shut down. You know, that's my only means of income. Like, luckily, like, I got a secondary job. Luckily that I'm doing overlays. Luckily that I'm doing this. But imagine, like, not only did they want to dox me, threaten my mother, they wanted to fucking contact my whatnot and try to, like, that's not even part of the job. Imagine I didn't do anything to them to that extent. All I said was fuck him, fuck this one dead dude, and still fuck him. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't matter. Like, he's dead. It doesn't fucking do anything, right? But
Alright, so that's the first clip that we just listened to. I don't know if that actually came through or not, to be 100% honest. Let me double check that. Let's see.
still fuck him. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
it doesn't matter.
Okay, it did go through. I'm still messing around with OBS and trying to figure out how all that works. So, in that clip, he mentions, I pray that some Mexicans put hands and feet on you. I pray that I get the video, and I pray that it happens soon. And then immediately he follows it up with, I've never like done anything to them, never claimed anything to them, and I don't understand why he insists on making it a race thing. I think it's because he doesn't understand the difference between IC3 and ICE. I think he heard IC3, and once again I have to explain that I don't want to make assumptions of his thought process. However, I have to, because that's all he goes off of. He doesn't like actually bring anything up. He doesn't play any clips or anything like that. But I'm going to be playing clips so then I can guarantee that I have the exact quote. And so I think that whenever I brought up the IC3 organization, he thinks that I'm being innuendous or like referring to ICE because he's Hispanic, but that's not the case in any capacity whatsoever. So once again, I'm going to explain the difference. ICE is the deportation agency that we have here in the United States, and I don't support much of what's going on, if any at all, with that entire thing. I don't care if you're I really don't care if you're a different skin color than I am. We're all human at the end of the day, and that's all that matters, and we should be looking out for our fellow man instead of sitting there and making fun of one of our fellow human beings passing away, and you making assumptions on, oh, it's because he was fat, it was because of this, it was because of that, ha ha ha, let me go ahead and make a short celebrating his death. I don't believe that to be just in any capacity. I really am confused as to how somebody can claim to be very deep set in his faith like he does. He mentions God, and mentions that he prays quite often, and praise God and this, that, and the other, and yet he's celebrating the fact that somebody who passed. I don't get the logic there, if there is any at all in any capacity. I don't think that there is, to be honest. I think he just is a very reactionary person, and instead of validating information, it seems to me like he kind of just jumps on to whatever's being said in the moment and doesn't care to make an attempt at seeing other perspectives, or even attempting to understand the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, we're good. Boop. Boop. And boop. And that to me just isn't okay. Um, one of another thing that I'm gonna make comments on is somebody in his chat the other night asked me if I was from Villainous Masterminds. I'm not in any way from Villainous Masterminds. If anything, if you're gonna claim that I'm from somewhere, I'm from Live Time with Harley. However, I've never like fledged this identity that like, oh, I'm just with Live Time with Harley. I was there. I was part of the community. Got brought up on to the stream a couple times. Had some good laughs. Made a couple jokes. Also pointed out logical fallacies and, also basically just I just was me. And so why are you still not a mod? I don't trust you, that's why. But anyway, so let's see. Let's go back over to playing some more of the clips. I think this is the
Oh, y'all guys, is that
so this is the clip where I think he's making a reference or hinting at the ICE versus IC3 argument. IC3 is the Internet Crime Agency for the United States. They handle all kinds of things like that happen on the internet, and slander, being a crime, can be handled by IC3 if it is strictly through the internet. I'm not going to be speculative on it much that Omar says. I'm just going to pull up what he says, get the clip, play the clip, and react to exactly that. That way, there's no potential for any sort of misrepresentation, slander, harassment, or anything like that. I am only going to be reactionary and bring up things that he brings up. So this is the ICE versus IC3.
Mexican, and I will always have it hard. The reason being is because right now ICE is a big prevalent. It's always out there. And then of course we always are gonna have racism. I saw it in Gloves' live. I saw it in Villainous Masterminds live. Imagine them saying we should contact ICE to see if he's legal. I'm like, you a bunch of assholes. Y'all have my arrest report. You have my record. How in the fuck am I illegal if you have my fucking criminal record? It doesn't make sense. Anyways, what I'm trying to say is
and then he goes on to ramble a little bit more. So once again, I don't care if you're brown, black, blue, orange, like our president. I don't care. I don't care if you're white, yellow, brown, black, blue, purple. I don't care. We're all humans at the end of the day, and that's all that should matter. And once again, I'm going to have the opening for Street Reheat. If you ever want to sit down and actually have a conversation instead of us going back and forth on these videos and reacting to, well, I don't think you've actually reacted to anything that I've ever said on any of my streams, because then I don't think that you'd have much of a leg to stand on, and I don't think that you would make the arguments that you try to. It doesn't make any sense to not sit down and have a conversation if you've actually heard me clarify what I've been saying. And so I'm going to open up the door again and leave the door open, as I'm going to continue to do. Omar, if you would like to actually have a conversation and understand that the only issue that I have with you is the fact that you are celebrating the death of somebody that I know, then like I don't understand where you're getting this. It's because I'm Mexican. It's because you're racist. This, that, the other. I don't know what is going on in VM streams. I'm gonna be honest. I probably don't pay attention enough to Harley streams to to say much about it, because I kind of poke my head in there and then that's it. Like I don't really to hang out probably as much as I should have. And so the threatening of you and your livelihood, that was strictly because that's a bad representation of the company. After the one time that the very first time that I interacted with Street Reheat, it was in his live, and I was like, hey, I heard about some beef going on between Villainous Masterminds and you. What, if you don't mind me asking, what's going on? And that was after he was the one who said, hey, if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. So I kind of assumed that was an invitation for discussion. Turns out it wasn't. It seems like Omar's very skeptical of actual conversation, and I find that funny, because I feel like if he and I were to sit down and actually have a conversation, be in a call with each other, and I don't even think he's watched any of my videos. Probably not, because I'm a whopping 9 subscriber Andy. But who knows? Maybe eventually he'll actually watch my live streams and hear what I'm actually saying. Here's this clip. This is him restating that he wants some Mexicans to put hands and feet on me. I don't understand why he hopes that, but okay.
They rather throw people like that out there and do their dirty work than them, you know? And then that guy Apollo, like, bro, I pray that some Mexicans catch up with you. I pray that somebody goes, when you go get your order, you fat fuck, and they fucking do you dirty, you know? And I pray I get that video, you know? Because you are a fucking piece of shit. For you to not only try to dox my mother, try to call out me, and then you want to fucking call my job. I only have one job, you know, at that time, you know? It was a whatnot, you know? Like, and you know, you want to call them and try to, like, get that shit taken down. Like, luckily at that point I got smart and I got a second job, you know, like the you know, the seasonal job. Like, you know, it barely held me up. And then, you know, that's what I'm trying to say. Like, not only were they try to strike this channel, you know, threaten my mother, they would try to contact my whatnot, you know, like. But yes, the only person I have really fucking any type of, like, fucking, like, I want something bad to happen to him is Harley and that dude Apollo. Like, both of them, they deserve to get beat down. And
so once again, this just opens up the door for that stream in particular. It is M stands for money. The trash of YouTube is live now. Let's go H. This was posted on December 27th, yesterday. And these clips are at. Let me actually get, like, all of the actual timestamps. So the first one is at 2 hours 36 minutes and 19 seconds is whenever I have that time stamped. And then the Ice versus IC3, 2:53:45, and then that one is at 2:55:53. I'm also going to shut down the whole claim that I tried to dox him or tried to dox his mom. I don't support doxing in any capacity. I believe that is something that you shouldn't do in any capacity. I don't like. I wouldn't want it to happen. I don't want it to happen to me. So I'm not going to condone it in any other sphere or any other capacity. And was another one of the first things that I brought up on my, I think it was my first live, where he has a short kind of giggling, I guess, about somebody in his community sending an IP grabber to VP Gloves' phone. VP Gloves had it on his phone for a while. In my opinion, that's a form of doxing, and I don't condone that in any capacity whatsoever. Hell, I don't even like giving out information that isn't directly given out to the public by the other person. And so, like I've said this several times, and like I don't understand why he thinks that I'm advocating for doxing. I'm pushing for some sort of attack on him personally. I'm just, outside of him celebrating the death of a friend, and like I honestly, if it were the case where he takes down the short of him celebrating somebody's death, and he were to take down the short of him celebrating the weird IP grab move that he did, or that somebody in his community did, like if he were to like at least halfway attempt to do what's right and fix the issues, I would have no issue in any capacity. Like, I'm not even looking for an apology. I wouldn't have any issue with him if he were like, hey, look, my bad, or he just took down the videos in general, but he doesn't. He actually tried burying them by posting a buttload of shorts after one of his live streams. He posted like 7 or 8 shorts in one day, and it just isn't. It's not a good look, and that's part of the reason why I brought it up to Whatnot. On, hey, look, you have this streamer who's dual streaming on both YouTube and Whatnot, and trying to promote his Whatnot business, and he's actively supporting doxing, actively mocking the death of somebody. Like, it's somebody personally that I know. Like, it just, it doesn't make any sense to, if you want to attack me, I'm going to attack you where it hurts most. And because I know that you being Street Reheat or Omar, because I know that you were basically asking for money, and that your business was struggling anyway, I'm going to hit you where it hurts, and I'm going to completely try to close that door. Because I don't think that you're a good person. I don't think that you deserve to have a platform in any capacity, based off of the things that you have said. Now, if you were to at least halfway decent and try to fix things, then yeah, I probably wouldn't bat an eye. I would go, alright, he went and fixed everything, I don't have to talk about him anymore, and leave it at that. But we continue to do this circle of, he doesn't know when to just stop. It doesn't seem like at any point he is willing to admit fault. and that's probably my biggest grievance against him, is the refusal to acknowledge his mistakes. Hope everybody had a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holidays. Sorry I haven't been really engaging with chat much. I've just been kind of just trying to get this all out there, so then once again I can clarify the record and, you know, actually say what I've said instead of being misrepresented by somebody who gets the information wrong. Omar, if you do see this, I hope that you understand that I the only issues that I have had is you misrepresenting my arguments and criticisms, and the fact that you were supporting doxing, and that you don't understand that celebrating the death of somebody isn't a good thing. But it doesn't seem like you care in remotely any capacity. And that's sad, especially for somebody who is working on building up a community and seems to be doing pretty well. Like, his channel's continuing to grow, and, you know, I just wish that you would take the time to think about your actions and think about what you say, and instead of just being reactionary 24/7, that you would actually take some time to sit down and think before you speak, because it doesn't seem like you do that very much. But outside of that, that's pretty much it. We're once again clarifying the record. Yeah, so hope everybody had a happy holidays, and I will catch you guys later. Feel free to join me in the campground Discord. Let me go ahead and pull that link up, and I will send it over to you guys. Feel free to come hang out. I think I'll be there probably the most of the day. So come hang out and say hey, and feel free to do whatever. I might even stream a movie later on. Who knows? So thanks, guys. Appreciate